In a tense courtroom, a strict judge was on the verge of delivering his ruling when suddenly, a little girl broke the silence with an innocent voice. "I'm hungry." The entire room froze. Her mother was mortified, completely embarrassed, but what the judge did next, it stunned everyone and changed everything. Before we dive deeper, please take a moment to comment where you're tuning in from, and if stories like this speak to you, don't forget to subscribe for more emotional narratives. Let's begin. Samantha Davis woke up before dawn, just like every other morning. The small Brooklyn apartment she shared with her 6-year-old daughter, Olivia, was quiet, except for the faint hum of the city outside. Brooklyn never slept. But Sam? She hardly did either. This morning, however, was different. Instead of heading to her job at the downtown bakery, she had to face a judge over what seemed like a minor issue, yet felt overwhelmingly heavy. A $200 parking ticket. As she watched Olivia sleeping peacefully, clutching her favorite stuffed bunny, guilt crashed over her like a wave. She had meant to park in the wrong spot. She was just trying to get Liv's fever medicine last week. Now, they were tangled in a mess she couldn't afford. "Come on, Liv," she whispered gently, brushing her daughter's curls aside. "We have to go." The Brooklyn courthouse felt enormous. The ceilings loomed high, the walls cold and gray, and the guards as stern as stone statues. Sam felt so small, clutching Olivia's hand tightly as they walked in. People whispered about Judge Thomas Alden, the very man she was about to face. He was infamous throughout New York, an unforgiving judge who never bent the law. Not once. How could she possibly convince someone like him to waive the fine? While waiting for her turn, Sam kept replaying her plea in her head. "Your Honor, I'm a single mother. It was only a few minutes. I couldn't risk missing work." But her thoughts shattered as the bailiff's voice rang out. Case number 118. Samantha Davis. Swallowing hard, Sam whispered, "Come on, Liv," and led her daughter forward. Olivia looked up at her with wide, trusting eyes as they approached the judge's bench. Judge Alden sat there, serious and stone-faced, towering behind his massive desk. He flipped through the paperwork with cold precision, each page turn echoing like the ticking of an invisible clock, counting down to a verdict. "You parked illegally in a wheelchair-designated spot," he stated, his gravelly voice cutting through the room. "Do you deny this, Ms. Davis?" Sam felt her knees tremble. Olivia's small hand was her only anchor. She shook her head. "No, Your Honor, I—" Before she could finish, a soft, clear voice pierced the thick tension. "Can we get pancakes? Please?" Time seemed to stop. The innocent words lingered, echoing for what felt like forever. Eyes widened. Gasps rippled through the courtroom like the first crack of thunder before a storm. The weight of every stare pressed heavily on Sam. Her heart raced. Her cheeks burned. The entire room held its breath, waiting for the judge's response. Judge Alden's pen paused midair, his steely gaze lifting from the papers. Slowly, he raised an eyebrow, studying Olivia with an expression the courtroom had never seen from him before. Curiosity. Sam's heart pounded, bracing for the worst, when suddenly, the stern judge asked, "Did you just say pancakes?" The room hushed in stunned silence, the tension transforming into disbelief. And then, quiet chuckles began to ripple through the crowd as Olivia nodded eagerly. "Yeah, pancakes. With syrup, please." For the first time in what felt like an eternity, Judge Alden's cold expression softened, just slightly. Between amusement and thoughtfulness, the judge's gaze lingered on Olivia. "Miss Davis," he said, his voice still steady, but with a faint warmth, "are you telling me you didn't have time for breakfast this morning?" Sam swallowed hard. "No, Your Honor. It was such a rush to get here." She glanced at Olivia, who stood proudly, her hands clasped in front of her as though she had made the most reasonable request in the world. The judge looked back at Olivia, who met his gaze, fearless. No hesitation. Just the trust only a child could offer. "What's your name, young lady?" he asked. Olivia beamed. "Olivia? But you can call me Liv." Soft laughter rippled again through the courtroom. Even Sam, despite her embarrassment, felt a small smile break through. The judge nodded, his lips twitching ever so slightly. Well, Liv, I don't believe anyone's ever asked for pancakes in my courtroom before. Without missing a beat, Liv tilted her head thoughtfully. Maybe you should have some too. They make you happy. The courtroom erupted in genuine laughter. Even Judge Alden, to everyone's disbelief, allowed a small, fleeting smile to cross his face. Sam blinked, her heart racing. Did he just smile? For a judge known as Brooklyn's toughest, that simple smile felt seismic. Clearing his throat, the judge straightened, though his harsh demeanor had visibly softened. "We will take a short recess," he announced, rising. "Court is adjourned for a brief moment." The bailiff blinked. "Your Honor, a recess?" The judge nodded firmly. "Yes. I'll need a moment." The entire courtroom buzzed with whispers as Judge Alden disappeared through a side door, leaving everyone, including Sam, staring after him in shock. Minutes later, he returned with a noticeably different demeanor. "Miss Davis," he began gently, "after reviewing your case, I am dismissing the $200 fine." Gasps filled the room. Sam clutched Olivia's hand tighter, tears pooling in her eyes. Judge Alden continued, "I'm also providing you with information on free child care support, job training, and an online degree program. No cost to you." Sam stared at the paper handed to her, words blurring through her tears. Relief. Hope. For the first time in forever. The courtroom erupted in applause. Olivia beamed. "See, Mommy? Pancakes do make people happy." And just like that, a moment of kindness changed everything.